You're buying the wrong motorcycle, and manufacturers are counting on it. While everyone's drooling over $20,000 superbikes online, America's best sellers are bikes you'd never expect. Today, we reveal the 20 motorcycles dominating U.S. sales, with real data, surprising names, and bikes even your buddies secretly ride. Before we get to the wild luxury bikes, let's talk about the unassuming cruiser that's quietly dominating America's sales charts. At number 1, the Honda Rebel 300/500, the sleeper hit nobody admits they want. That beginner bike nobody thinks is cool, it's outselling most of the motorcycles you actually follow on social media. The Honda Rebel isn't flashy, doesn't make crazy power, and won't win you likes on Instagram. Yet it consistently ranks among America's top-selling motorcycles year after year. Why? Because it delivers exactly what most riders actually need, not what they pretend to want. This low-slung cruiser combines a manageable 471cc parallel twin or 286cc single in the 300 model with the kind of reliability that makes mechanics cry from lost business. The 500 gives you 46 horsepower, more than enough for highway cruising while staying docile around town. That's the sweet spot most riders actually operate in, regardless of what they tell their buddies. What's driving sales? For starters, a sub-$7,000 price tag that won't require a second mortgage. But more importantly, it's a bike that doesn't punish you for being human. The low 27-inch seat height means almost anyone can flat-foot it at stops. The relaxed ergonomics don't require yoga experience. And the forgiving power delivery means you won't accidentally wheelie into a tree. The secret nobody admits: experienced riders are buying these things too, not as stepping stones, but as daily riders that just work without drama. The bikes people brag about and the bikes people actually buy are rarely the same, and manufacturers are laughing all the way to the bank. You won't believe what's outselling superbikes while being dismissed as just for beginners. Owners refuse to let them go even years later. At number 2, the Kawasaki Ninja 400, the starter bike riders refuse to upgrade from. Everyone tells you to start on a Ninja 400 and upgrade in 6 months. What they don't tell you is that thousands of riders keep them for years because they're secretly more fun than most larger bikes. This little Ninja consistently dominates sales charts with its perfect blend of accessibility and genuine performance. The 399cc parallel twin delivers 49 horsepower, more than enough to embarrass most cars, while weighing just 366 pounds fully fueled. That power-to-weight ratio creates a bike that feels alive in ways 600-plus-cc sport bikes simply don't at legal speeds. What keeps these flying off showroom floors? It's not just the approachable $5,300 starting price, it's that these things handle like they're reading your mind. The light chassis flicks into corners effortlessly. The engine's character is playful rather than intimidating, and you can actually use full throttle without immediately collecting felony charges. The dirty secret? Even veteran riders who own bigger bikes often confess their Ninja 400 is the one they grab for canyon roads and commuting. It's simply more fun to ride a slow bike fast than a fast bike slow. When a starter bike has owners still grinning after 3 years of ownership, it's not really a starter bike anymore. It's just a brilliant motorcycle. That rider who says they're too experienced for a Ninja 400 has probably never actually ridden one, or they'd know what they're missing. Forget sport bikes, an 800-pound beast with pushrod technology is crushing the sales charts while costing twice as much. At number 3, the Harley-Davidson Street Glide. America's real dream bike, whether you admit it or not. Forget what the YouTube influencers tell you about sport bikes. The Street Glide remains America's true aspirational motorcycle, selling in numbers that would make most manufacturers weep with envy. This 800-plus pound bagger isn't trying to set lap records or win specification sheet competitions. Its Milwaukee 8114 V twin makes only 100 horsepower, less than a 600cc sport bike, yet commands a $22,000-plus price tag that people gladly pay. And they're buying these things by the tens of thousands. Why? Because the Street Glide delivers exactly what most adult riders actually want: presence, comfort, and the ability to eat miles without feeling beaten up. Its frame-mounted fairing with infotainment system, cruise control, and stretch saddlebags create a rolling living room that makes 500-mile days feel reasonable rather than masochistic. The tech is there too. Modern Street Glides offer touchscreen infotainment, Bluetooth connectivity, and rider aids that rival luxury cars. No, it won't carve canyons like a sport bike, but it will still be running flawlessly when those race-inspired machines are on their third engine rebuild. The demographics don't lie. The average motorcycle buyer is in their 40s with disposable income and a body that no longer tolerates sport bike ergonomics. The Street Glide speaks directly to them. Subscribe now, because the bikes we're about to reveal next are the ones everybody's buying but nobody's talking about. That old man bike you mock, it outsells your dream sport bike 10-1, and its owner is actually riding, not posing for Instagram. Your Instagram feed shows $20,000 adventure machines. Meanwhile, this humble dirt bike with a license plate is silently outselling them all. At number 4, the Honda CRF 250L 300L. The dirt bike with a license plate that outsells $20,000 adventure machine. Every Instagram adventure rider shows off their $20,000 BMW GS with expensive aluminum panniers. Meanwhile, Honda can't keep these simple dirt bikes with license plates in stock. The CRF 250L, recently updated to 300L, consistently ranks among America's top-selling motorcycles because it delivers exactly what most adventure riders actually do: light off-roading and commuting without the weight, complexity, or monthly payments of more aspirational machines. Weighing just 309 pounds wet, the CRF 300L's 286cc single-cylinder engine pumps out a modest 27 horsepower. But that's plenty for Forest Service roads, fire trails, and urban commuting. Its 10-plus inches of suspension travel soaks up potholes and trail obstacles, while its honest simplicity means you won't need a computer engineering degree to maintain it. What's driving these sales numbers? Accessibility. With a starting price around $5,249, it costs less than the optional luggage on some adventure bikes. Its 34.7-inch seat height is manageable for most riders. And with 70-plus mpg fuel economy, it's practically free to operate compared to most motorcycles. The irony? While Instagram adventurers are posting staged photos of their clean GSs, CRF owners are actually out exploring trails every weekend, getting muddy, dropping their bikes without financial panic, and having authentic experiences. Adventure isn't measured in cubic centimeters or dollars spent, it's measured in places reached and smiles earned. This little Honda has the sales numbers to prove it. A motorcycle without cutting-edge tech or flashy marketing is creating a cult following so strong dealers can't keep them in stock. At number 8, the Harley-Davidson Sportster, the icon that refuses to die no matter the specs. The Sportster should be obsolete by now. Its basic design dates back to 1957. Its engine is air-cooled in a liquid-cooled world. It has 2 valves per cylinder when 4 is standard. Yet this ancient platform remains one of America's best-selling motorcycles year after year. The secret isn't the specs. The 883cc and 1200cc Evolution V-twin engines make modest power, around 50 to 70 horsepower, while weighing a hefty 550-plus pounds. But that misses the point entirely. People buy Sportsters because they're authentic in a world of plastic replicas. What keeps them moving off showroom floors? Accessibility, for one. With prices starting around $9,500 for the Iron 883, it's the cheapest ticket into the Harley Owners Club. But more importantly, it's a blank canvas. No motorcycle has a more extensive aftermarket, allowing owners to transform them into anything from bobbers to scramblers to flat trackers. The Sportster's sales success reveals what manufacturers often forget: character beats performance. Its distinctive narrow profile, unmistakable exhaust note, and mechanical simplicity create a visceral experience that specs can't capture. It's a motorcycle that feels like a motorcycle, not a computer with wheels. Even as Harley introduces its replacement, the Revolution Max-powered Sportster S, the traditional Sportster continues to sell in numbers that defy logic and gravity. Sometimes the best-selling bike isn't the best by any objective measure. It just has something nobody else can replicate. It loses comparison tests, YouTube reviews, and bench racing contests, yet buyers can't stop purchasing this under-the-radar winner. At number 9, the Kawasaki Versus 650, the underdog all-rounder quietly winning on versatility. While adventure bike headlines focus on $20,000 monsters with aluminum cases and snorkels, the humble Versus 650 quietly became one of America's sales success stories by offering 90% of the capability at 50% of the price. This middleweight do-everything machine packs a 649cc parallel twin, producing 66 horsepower in a package weighing 476 pounds wet. Not impressive numbers on paper, but the magic is in the chassis. Long travel suspension, comfortable ergonomics, and a frame that handles everything from commuting to canyon carving to light touring with equal composure. What drives its consistent sales success? Value for starters. At $8,809, it undercuts comparable bikes by thousands. But more importantly, it's honest. It doesn't pretend to be a dirt bike with its 17-inch wheels. It doesn't try to impress with unnecessary electronics. It simply works brilliantly as everyday transportation that can still deliver thrills when asked. The average Versus owner isn't posting on Instagram or forums. They're too busy actually riding, racking up 15,000 plus miles annually, while bikes 3 times the price sit in garages waiting for special occasions. In a world of specialized motorcycles, the Versus proves that versatility sells, even if it doesn't generate clicks or social media fame. The bikes you see most often in reviews aren't the ones most people are buying. This Kawasaki exposes that disconnect perfectly. A forgotten brand reinvented itself and now steals customers directly from Harley, making Milwaukee executives sweat. At number 10, the Indian Scout, the American cruiser that's stealing Harley's lunch money. Don't let Harley's market dominance fool you. Indian Scout lineup has become a genuine sales phenomenon by beating the motor company at its own game. This modern cruiser packs a liquid-cooled 1133C CCV twin, making 100 horsepower in a package weighing just 561 pounds, giving it power to weight that embarrasses the competition. Yet it starts at $11,999, undercutting comparable Harleys while offering superior performance. What's driving its sales success? Partly the combination of classic looks with modern engineering. The Scout offers features like liquid cooling, overhead cams, and a counterbalanced engine, all while maintaining the clean lines cruiser buyers demand. It's a bike that doesn't force you to choose between style and substance. But there's another factor. Indian represents an alternative. As the American motorcycle market matures, riders who want domestic iron without joining the Harley crowd find a home with Indian. The Scout offers tribal belonging without feeling like you're riding the same bike as your dad and uncle. While Indian doesn't publish exact sales figures, dealer networks report that Scout models often outsell comparable Harley Sportsters in direct comparisons, something unheard of just a decade ago. The cruiser market was a monopoly for decades. Now it's a genuine horse race, and American riders are the winners. Middle-aged accountants and lawyers fight for the chance to spend luxury car money on this two-wheeled living room. At number 11, the Honda Goldwing, the two-wheeled luxury suite serious tourers swear by. Forget superbikes and adventure machines. If you want to see what consistent sales success looks like, look to Honda's rolling luxury suite, the Goldwing. This 1833cc flat-six behemoth weighs an eye-watering 800 plus pounds, fully dressed, and commands a starting price of $23,900 that quickly climbs past $30,000 with options. Yet it maintains steady sales year after year, dominating a touring segment it practically invented. The numbers are impressive: 125 horsepower, 170 pound-feet of torque, a 7-speed DCT automatic transmission option, and more electronic aids than most luxury cars. But what really sells Goldwings is the experience they deliver: all-day comfort that rivals your living room sofa, weather protection that makes rain irrelevant, and the ability to cover 300-plus miles between fuel stops. Who's buying them? Primarily mature riders, average age 50+, who value comfort and capability over spec sheet bragging rights. They're riders who've outgrown the need to prove anything to anyone. They just want to enjoy the journey with minimal discomfort. The The Gold Wing exposes a truth that manufacturers know but marketing often ignores. As riders age, priorities shift from performance to comfort. And in America's aging rider demographic, that means steady sales for bikes that deliver luxury first. The motorcycle market isn't just about youth and speed, it's increasingly about comfort and capability. No bike proves this better than the Wing. Flagship adventure bikes add electronics like fighter jets. Meanwhile, this stripped-down machine with 2005 technology sells out nationwide. At number 12, the Yamaha Taner 700, the no-nonsense adventure bike that's always sold out. While BMW and KTM battle for big-budget adventure supremacy, Yamaha quietly dropped a mid-size bombshell that's been selling out since its introduction. The Taner 700 takes a different approach to adventure riding. Simplicity. Its 689cc parallel twin makes 72 horsepower in a package weighing 452 pounds wet. There's no electronic suspension, no cornering ABS, no TFT display, just the essentials done right. And at $10,299, it costs half what the flagship European options command. Why is it consistently sold out at dealers nationwide? Because it matches what most adventure riders actually do. 80% road riding with occasional dirt excursions. Its relatively lightweight makes it manageable off-road without specialized skills. Its lack of complex electronics means less to break in remote areas, and its reasonable seat height makes it accessible to more riders. The Taner's success story is a rebuke to the more is more philosophy that dominated adventure bikes for years. It proves riders are willing to sacrifice electronic gimmicks for fundamental capability at a reasonable price. Yamaha struck gold by building the adventure bike people actually need, not the one marketing departments think they want. The adventure bike segment isn't about who can add the most technology, it's about who can deliver the most capability per dollar. Yamaha figured that out first. Sport bikes are supposedly dead, so why is this track-focused missile still flying off dealership floors? At number 13, the Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10R, the superbike still standing in a dying segment. Superbike sales have been declining for years as riders move toward more practical options. Yet the ZX-10R continues to move units while competitors struggle. The secret? Racing success that actually translates to customer loyalty. This 998cc rocket produces 203 horsepower in a 456-pound package, numbers that make little sense for public roads. Yet Kawasaki maintains healthy sales by leveraging its unprecedented World Superbike Championship domination under Jonathan Rea, over 100 wins and 6 consecutive titles. What keeps the ZX-10R moving while other superbikes collect showroom dust? For one, its $16,319 starting price undercuts comparable European options by thousands. But more importantly, Kawasaki has cultivated a tribe of loyal supporters who genuinely believe their bike is superior because of its racing pedigree, creating purchase justification that transcends practicality. The ZX-10R also benefits from a reputation for reliability that European competitors can't match. When you're buying a machine purpose-built for extreme performance, the fear of expensive repairs is a powerful purchase deterrent that Kawasaki has largely eliminated. In a segment where sales have dropped by double digits, maintaining consistent numbers counts as a significant victory. Racing success still sells motorcycles, but only when buyers believe that technology actually makes it to their production bikes. Marketing created a legend, but only authentic capability maintains sales for decades. At number 14, the Honda Africa Twin, the off-road ready ADV that actually earns the badge. Most adventure bikes are road-biased behemoths that occasionally venture onto gravel. The Africa Twin reversed that formula and found sales success by actually prioritizing off-road capability. This purpose-built machine combines a 1084cc parallel twin, producing 101 horsepower with a chassis designed for genuine dirt performance. At 529 pounds wet, it's no featherweight, but its balance, ground clearance, and suspension travel make it significantly more capable when the pavement ends than most competitors. What drives its sales success in America? Authenticity. While other manufacturers added off-road modes to what are essentially touring bikes, Honda built a proper dirt bike that can tour comfortably. Its relatively narrow dimensions, reasonable seat height options, and focus on fundamental capability rather than electronic wizardry attract riders who actually plan to use their adventure bikes as intended. The DCT automatic transmission option, unique in the adventure segment, attracts another subset of buyers who want technical off-road capability without the complexity of manual clutch control in challenging terrain. Honda's revival of the legendary Africa Twin name wasn't just marketing nostalgia, it was a commitment to purpose that resonates with buyers tired of adventure bike pretenders. The adventure bike segment split into two camps: electronic touring bikes with knobby tires and genuine dual-purpose machines. The Africa Twin firmly planted its flag in the latter. A company famous for dirt bikes created an urban sales phenomenon that's changing how Americans view displacement. At number 15, the KTM 390 Duke, the small displacement city bike that redefined urban fun. While the American market traditionally equated engine size with desirability, KTM flipped the script with a small displacement machine that sells on character rather than cubic centimeters. This lightweight naked bike packs a 373cc single-cylinder engine producing 44 horsepower in a package weighing just 328 pounds. On paper, those aren't impressive numbers, but the combination creates a power-to-weight ratio that makes urban riding an absolute blast. What keeps them flying off dealer floors? Partly the accessible $5,490 starting price. But more importantly, KTM managed to inject the same aggressive DNA from its larger bikes into this entry-level option. The aggressive styling, premium components, WP suspension, Brembo brakes, and snappy throttle response create a premium small bike rather than a beginner compromise. The 390 Duke exposed a market truth many manufacturers missed. Not everyone wants a big bike. Many riders, especially urban dwellers, prioritize agility, efficiency, and ease of use over raw power they can never legally use. The compact Duke created a segment of riders who chose small displacement by preference, not budget limitation. It's no coincidence that after the 390 Duke's sales success, virtually every manufacturer rushed to introduce premium small displacement options of their own. The bike that proved America was finally ready to admit that bigger isn't always better, especially in the city. In an age of futuristic designs, this throwback proves nostalgia is worth billions in motorcycle sales. At number 16, the Triumph Bonavville T120, the retro classic that outsells modern monsters. While manufacturers chase ever-advancing technology, Triumph discovered a profitable truth. Many riders value nostalgia and simplicity over cutting-edge features. The Bonavville T120 embodies classic British design with its 1200cc air-cooled parallel twin, spoke wheels, and timeless silhouette. Yet beneath the vintage aesthetic lies modern engineering with ride-by-wire throttle, traction control, and ABS brakes, creating a bike that looks classic but rides modern. What drives its consistent sales performance? For one, the $12,050 price point hits a sweet spot between premium and accessible. But more importantly, the Bonavville offers something increasingly rare: motorcycle design that isn't trying too hard to look futuristic or aggressive. In a market saturated with angry-looking transformers on wheels, the Bonaville's clean lines and understated presence attract buyers who want a motorcycle that still looks like a motorcycle. Its sales success proves that visual aggression isn't the only path to consumer appeal. Triumph struck gold by realizing that modern technology doesn't require modern styling. Sometimes the most forward-thinking approach is looking backward. When every other bike is screaming for attention, there's profound market value in quiet confidence. The Bonavville proves it with sales numbers. Prepare to have your motorcycle purist card revoked. The following entry sales figures are too massive to ignore. At number 17, the CanAm Spyder Riker, the three-wheeler purists mock but thousands buy. Purists scoff at counting three-wheelers as motorcycles, but dealerships don't care about purism. They care about units sold. And by that metric, CanAm's three-wheeled lineup has become a legitimate sales phenomenon. These reverse trikes combine motorcycle-like open-air experience with car-like stability using 2 wheels up front and 1 in back. The Riker starts at $8,999 with a 600cc engine, while the flagship Spyder RT Limited commands $29,999 with its 1,330cc triple and touring amenities. What's driving their explosive sales growth? Demographics. As America's riding population ages, physical limitations make traditional motorcycles challenging for many riders. The Spyder's automatic transmission and inherent stability eliminate the need for physical balance or clutch coordination, opening motorcycling to people who otherwise couldn't ride. The numbers don't lie. CanAm has sold over 100,000 three-wheelers since their introduction. Many of these sales represent new riders entering the market rather than traditional motorcyclists switching platform, meaning they're expanding the industry rather than just taking market share. While motorcycle purists debate whether three-wheelers count, dealerships are counting the money they bring in, and manufacturers are racing to introduce their own three-wheeled options to capture this growth segment. The definition of motorcycle is less important than the experience of open-air riding. CanAm proved there's massive untapped market potential beyond traditional two-wheelers. A racing company disguised a superbike as a practical motorcycle created an unlikely hit with a price that makes Japanese executives faint. At number 18, the Ducati Multistrada V4, the Italian superbike disguised as practical transport. Not all bestsellers are mass-market models. In the premium segment, Ducati's Multistrada V4 has become the Italian brand's most successful model by disguising a superbike as practical transportation. This technological tour de force packs a 170 horsepower V4 engine derived from MotoGP racing into an adventure touring platform with radar-assisted cruise control, cornering ABS, semi-active suspension, and enough electronic aids to fill a user manual. At $20,095 starting, it's firmly premium priced, yet it's become Ducati's sales leader. What drives its success in a niche market? Versatility wrapped in exclusivity. The Multistrada delivers near sport bike performance with adventure bike comfort and touring capability, all while wearing the prestigious Ducati badge. It's the motorcycle equivalent of a high-performance luxury SUV, practical enough to justify, exotic enough to desire. But there's another factor: maintenance intervals. By extending service intervals to 36,000 miles between major services, unprecedented for Ducati, they address the brand's biggest ownership deterrent. The result? Buyers who previously admired Ducatis from afar finally had practical justification to own one. In the premium segment, sales success isn't measured in absolute numbers, but in growth and market share, both of which the Multistrada V4 delivers for Ducati. For premium brands, the best-selling models aren't always the most affordable. They're the ones that make exclusivity seem practical. America's motorcycle ego refuses to admit these vehicles are selling by the thousands. The numbers tell a different story. At number 19, the Honda PCX 150 and ADV 150, the scooter America pretends to hate but secretly loves. Despite American resistance to scooters as real motorcycles, Honda's PCX 150 and ADV 150 models have quietly become consistent sales performers by delivering practical urban transportation without pretense. These 149cc single-cylinder step-throughs produce just 14.5 horsepower while weighing around 290 pounds. Not impressive on paper, but they offer features urban commuters actually need: under-seat storage for a full-face helmet, 100-plus mpg fuel economy, automatic transmission, and weather protection that motorcycles can't match. What's driving their surprising sales success in a country that traditionally rejects scooters? Practicality that transcends image concerns. At $3,909 starting price, they're affordable entries into two-wheel transportation. Their small dimensions make filtering through traffic effortless, and their automatic CVT transmissions eliminate the learning curve that deters many potential riders. The demographic is telling. PCX buyers often aren't traditional motorcycle people at all. They're practical urbanites who value efficiency over image, commuters who recognize that sitting in traffic in a car makes less sense than slipping through it on a scooter. While America pretends to disdain scooters, sales figures tell a different story, one of quiet acceptance that practical transportation doesn't need to come wrapped in machismo. The most honest motorcycle purchase isn't the one you show off to friends, it's the one that actually improves your daily life. Scooters are selling because they work. Our final bestseller divides Harley loyalists into warring tribes, and the less flashy faction is winning. At number 20, the Harley-Davidson Road Glide, the bagger that serious riders choose when style isn't enough. While the Street Glide gets more attention, the Road Glide has quietly become Harley's best-selling touring model among serious distance riders by offering superior stability and comfort. This imposing bagger features a frame-mounted shark nose fairing versus the fork-mounted design on the Street Glide that creates better aerodynamics, reduced buffeting, and improved handling at highway speeds. The Milwaukee 8 114 V-twin delivers 122 pound-feet of torque, focusing on the kind of low-end grunt that matters for loaded touring. What drives its consistent sales success? Actual functionality. The fixed fairing reduces fatigue on long rides. The stretched saddlebags provide meaningful storage capacity. The 6-gallon fuel tank enables 200-plus mile range. It's a purpose-built highway machine that excels in its intended environment. American interstate travel. The price of admission isn't cheap, starting at $21,999 and easily climbing past $30,000 with options. But for serious touring riders who measure trips in states rather than miles, the investment delivers returns in comfort and capability that justify the premium. The Road Glide sales success exposes a market reality. While casual riders may prioritize style, serious distance riders value function and are willing to pay for it. America's motorcycle culture was built on the freedom of cross-country travel, not track days or off-road adventures. No bike embodies that tradition better than this. Before we wrap up, how many of these bestsellers surprised you? And which one are you most shocked didn't make the cut? Let me know in the comments below. You've seen what America actually rides. Now it's time to find out which of these top sellers might be right for you. Subscribe for our upcoming video where we break down which of these 20 bikes fits your riding style, budget, and goals. It might not be the one you'd expect,